ग्लेनईगल्स अस्पताल में मुंबई का इस साल का पहला डोमिनो किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट। मुंबई परेल स्थित ग्लेनईगल्स अस्पताल में इस साल का पहला डोमिनो किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट किया गया है। किडनी की प्रतीक्षा कर रहे 3 मरीजों की परिजनों ने अपने प्रियजन की जान बचाने के लिए एक दूसरे के प्रियजन को किडनी दान करने जान बचाई है। ग्लेनईगल्स अस्पताल के डॉक्टर भरत शाह, डॉक्टर प्रदीप राव, डॉक्टर जितेंद्र जगपात और डॉक्टर श्रुति तापियावाला के नेतृत्व में मुंबई का इस साल का पहला डोमिनो किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट किया गया है। उन्नत प्रत्यारोपण, प्रतिरक्षा निदान और एचएलए चिकित्सा में स्वीकार्य मिसमैच तकनीकों का लाभ उठाते हुए डोमिनो प्रत्यारोपण ने अत्यधिक संवेदनशील मरीजों की अनूठी चुनौतियों का समाधान किया, जो कि प्रत्यारोपण आबादी का केवल 7-10% है, जो हमारे राज्य और देश के लिए गुर्दा प्रत्यारोपण में एक नया मील का पत्थर है।
Which has happened here, and all of us know that this place is known for its transplant program. For years together, we've been doing kidney, liver, pancreas, intestine, hand, everything. But this is one of its kinds that where simultaneously 3 recipients, 3 donors, all at one go has happened, and we are so proud to see that the result is so good and so nice. Of course, we've been doing donor recipient, single donor, single recipient. We've also done swabs here, as we talk today. Now also we are doing a swab, up there in our OT. But when it comes to Domino's, it's a daunting task where everybody has to come together and simultaneously work. And when you see the donor recipients and when we see their smiles, we really feel very contented that the team here working in Gleneagles has worked tirelessly to make all happen. Of course, when we say that it all happened in one day, but when we had to actually make it happen, it took months of planning to make it happen actually. So I would like all of you all to give a big round of applause to the team. As well as to the families, as well as to the recipients and donors, who actually made all it. Actually, it happened because of them, isn't it? So, this basically press conference that we wanted to have is just to make sure that the awareness about all these things should be there. It's not that if you don't have a donor and there is no match available, then you can't go for it. If people work in tandem and if everybody comes together, the domino can happen in n numbers. Like here there are 3 recipients and 3 donors. It could be n number of donors and n number of transplants.
So there are 2 types of antibodies which can make it difficult for a family member to donate the kidney. You can have antibodies to the blood group, and you can have antibodies to what is called as tissue typing, which determines the identity of each individual. Over the years, we have been able to overcome the blood group antibody barrier by doing a desensitization process, and now we at our center do many ABO incompatible transplants after doing a process where the antibodies are removed, and once the antibody levels come down, then you can do the transplant. What is more difficult is to do a transplant when there is an HLA or tissue incompatibility. These antibodies are difficult to remove, and even if you desensitize, there is a high chance of rejection happening after the transplant. So we have a registry which is called a solid organ renal transplant registry called SORTER, in which we try and keep data of every patient who is facing this problem, where the family donor is where the recipient is sensitized to the family donor. We keep a data, we maintain a registry, and we try and provide the best match. So if the donor, if the recipient does not have antibodies to the tissue type of the donor, even if they are from a different family, it is better to do a transplant without desensitization, because then the risk of rejection is less. So this is what has been done in these 3 cases. You can see that patients have come from across the country, from Hyderabad, and there are 3 different families, and just because we did a proper immunological match, we could do all the 3 transplants successfully. Otherwise, these 3 patients were waiting for a long time to get an appropriate match. And this is what a good registry can do, can find an appropriate match for a patient who is waiting because he is highly sensitized.
As I said, this was a very complicated situation where all the 3 patients had a lot of HLA antibodies against the tissue of their own donors. So their own donors, if they would have donated, they would have faced a very high risk of rejection, and it would not be a good outcome to have the kidney or any organ work for just a short time and die. So what we actually did was we found them donors from our registry which we established in 2018, that we found donors against whom they had absolutely no antibodies. So it is like we have a difficult situation which we converted into a very easy situation, and without going for very high risk immunosuppression, which is costly also, which is dangerous also for human beings because they can get infections. They all had a simple transplant which a normal human being can have without HLA antibodies. Now if you see the recipients, they got HLA antibodies because 2 of them have been transplanted before. One of them has had multiple pregnancies, because of which they got tissue from another human being in their body and they got antibodies. Now mind you, we have around 7 to 10% of such people coming to us for transplantation in today's world, because they have had transplants in the past and now they are failing. Because they may have had transplant 10 years back, 15 years back. These are the people who have a lot of HLA antibodies. So this type of an acceptable mismatch technology, or you can say a strategy which we are following, is giving a very low risk transplant to people who are otherwise very high risk. And these kidneys will last longer, because internationally literature says that desensitization or treatment of these antibodies for removal, even if you do it, the risk of rejection is going to be 30 to 35% despite the cost, despite taking the risk. So this becomes an easy way but a difficult way to achieve the transplants. And like Dr. Bipin said, that it was a daunting task for all the teams. I should say hats off to the transplant coordinators, the nurses, the OT teams, because as doctors we did our intellectual work, but all the groundwork and the paperwork and everything had to be done by our junior residents, by our nurses, by our OT teams, and the administration of course, and the transplant has gone off safely and successfully. So I think more and more awareness will help people get a lower risk transplant rather than going for high risk procedures which are brave but may not be good enough for a long term outcome. उसको अटैक करना है. अब ट्रांसप्लांट हमारे लिए अच्छी चीज़ है, लेकिन शरीर की प्रकृति को वो पता नहीं है, इसलिए हम उनको इम्यूनोसप्रेशन देते हैं, दवाई देते हैं कि इम्यूनिटी कम हो और रिजेक्शन ना हो. लेकिन अगर आपको पहले से आपके शरीर में ऐसे एंटीबॉडीज बने हुए हैं प्रीवियस ट्रांसफ्यूजन, प्रेगनेंसीज और ट्रांसप्लांट की वजह से, तो क्या होता है, वो एंटीबॉडीज जैसे ही ये किडनी आता है उसको अटैक कर देते हैं. अब ये चीज कब होती है, जब वो जो डोनर किडनी देने वाला है उसके विरुद्ध वाली एंटीबॉडीज हो, मतलब एकदम डोनर स्पेसिफिक, कि अगर डोनर का टिश्यू जो है उसी के अगेंस्ट है जो हम अभी टेक्नोलॉजी से आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं, तो उसका हम लिस्ट बनाते हैं कि भाई ये पेशेंट में कितने एंटीबॉडीज हैं और कौन से हैं. फिर हम ये देखते हैं कि भाई ये डोनर जो दे रहा है उनको यही टिश्यू तो नहीं है कि किडनी जाएगा और तुरंत रिजेक्ट हो जाएगा या थोड़ी देर में रिजेक्ट हो जाएगा. तो जितने एंटीबॉडीज होंगे उतना रिस्क ऑफ रिजेक्शन ज्यादा होगा, क्योंकि उसी का डर हमें रहता है कि अगर हमने नया ऑर्गन डाला है तो वो आदमी को जिंदा रखने के लिए, हेल्दी रखने के लिए लंबे दर्जे तक चलना चाहिए. अब ऐसे पेशेंट्स में जहाँ पहले से एंटीबॉडीज बने हुए, सब में नहीं होते, सिर्फ 8 से 10% पेशेंट्स में ऐसा होता है, तो उनको आइडेंटिफाई करके बाजू पे लेना पड़ता है कि भाई आप रेगुलर ट्रांसप्लांट करने जाओगे तो रिजेक्शन रिस्क बहुत बढ़ जाएगा. तो इनके केस में ऐसे मेरे पास अराउंड 45-50 पेशेंट्स है, इसलिए मैंने रजिस्ट्री बनाया था 2018 में, क्योंकि मुझे समझ में आ गया था कि ऐसे पेशेंट्स को हम नॉर्मल ट्रांसप्लांट नहीं दे सकते, जो इंटरनेशनली भी यही होता है. तो ये रजिस्ट्री द्वारा हम क्या करते हैं कि ऐसे पेयर्स ढूंढते हैं जो डोनर अगर हमने इनको दिया तो उनको उनके अगेंस्ट एंटीबॉडीज बने हुए नहीं है, तो इसको एक एक्सेप्टेबल मिसमैच बोलते हैं, मिसमैच बट एक्सेप्टेबल। हम लोग पहले मैच का बात कर एवरेजली, एंड देयर आर पेशेंट्स ऑन माय लिस्ट जो अभी भी 1 साल 2 साल होने को आए लेकिन इतने सारे एंटीबॉडीज हैं कि उनको अभी तक मैच नहीं मिल रहा है, बट वो रेगुलरली फॉलो अप करते हैं 3-3 महीने के इंटरवल में कि डॉक्टर कुछ मिला क्या, और उनको भी अगर उनके फैमिली में से कोई और डोनर मिलता है तो वो ले आते हैं कि इनके साथ हो रहा है क्या।
What is the challenge of domino kidney transplant? Biggest challenge?
I would say biggest challenge is one is to find a donor, क्योंकि ये haystack में से सुई ढूंढने लायक है कि इतने सारे लोग हैं और इतनी सारी एंटीबॉडीज है, तो हमें एक परफेक्ट मेड इन हेवन मैच ढूंढना है, तो ये एक चीज है। दूसरा पेपर वर्क, अब जैसे एक पेशेंट तेलंगाना स्टेट से है और 2 पेशेंट्स महाराष्ट्र से है, पेपर वर्क्स में काफी टाइम लग जाता है, जो थोड़ा स्ट्रीमलाइन होते होते होगा अपने कंट्री में, लेकिन हो जाएगा। तो हैदराबाद का परमिशन मिलते हमको 6 महीने लग गए। महाराष्ट्र वॉज क्विक इनफ क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में काफी स्वॉप्स होते हैं, बट जिस स्टेट के लिए नया है उनको तो पूरा पढ़ के करके फिर जाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये लीगल इश्यू होता है कि भाई एक का डोनर दूसरे को दे रहा है, तो पेपर वर्क में अभी टाइम लगता है। एंड ऑफ कोर्स एक बार डोनर मिला उसके बाद तीनों फैमिलीज के स्केड्यूल्स भी बैठने चाहिए, वो भी एक चैलेंज था। किसी की एग्जाम है, 2 बच्चे हैं इसमें, किसी की एग्जाम थी, किसी की तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी, किसी को इन्फेक्शन था, तो डेट्स भी 3 से 4 बार चेंज हुए, इतना तक कि डॉक्टर प्रदीप राव हमेशा जोक करते थे कि श्रुति ये होने वाला है कि नहीं होने वाला।
ये जो डोमिनो इफेक्ट है, इनमें 3 ऑपरेशंस एक साथ हुए थे, 6 पेशेंट्स थे, इसके बारे में बताएं कि ऐसा क्यों जरूरी हो गया था कि 3
थ्रू दिस फोरम, अगर आई मीन ये नॉट ओनली मुंबई में बट सारे देश में फैलना चाहिए कि दिस इज पॉसिबल, ये हो सकता है। एंड जैसे ये हॉस्पिटल में इतना ब्यूटीफुल रजिस्ट्री मेंटेन किया है, एवरी हॉस्पिटल इन मुंबई, इन एवरी सिटी इन इंडिया, अगर ऐसे रजिस्ट्री हो तो इट विल बी इजी। हु नोज, यू नो, जस्ट लाइक नाउ मेरे पेशेंट हैदराबाद से मुंबई आए, वैसा ऐसे डोमिनो ट्रांसप्लांट्स हर जगह हो सके तो अच्छा होगा, क्योंकि ये जो पेशेंट्स जो किडनी फेलियर से अफेक्ट होते हैं, इट्स रियली अनफॉर्चुनेट सिचुएशन, तो उनको अगर हमें हेल्प करना है तो ये मैसेज सारा इट शुड स्प्रेड एवरीवेयर दैट ये पॉसिबल है। डेडिकेशन चाहिए, टीम वर्क चाहिए, एंड पेशेंट्स और उनके फैमिलीज का अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए, उनका पेशेंस भी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये 1-2 दिन की बात नहीं, ये महीने लगे हैं ये ट्रांसप्लांट, ये डोमिनो होने के लिए। तो आई वुड अर्ज दैट एवरी हॉस्पिटल शुड हैव अ रजिस्ट्री, एंड उनका जो पेशेंट्स है ऑन डायलिसिस वेटिंग फॉर ट्रांसप्लांट, सो दैट ऐसे ट्रांसप्लांट हो सके। एज ऑफ नाउ हम श्रुति को भेज सकते हैं ऐसे पेशेंट्स को, शी विल वर्क अप अ ब्यूटीफुल, शी हैज अ रजिस्ट्री, तो थ्रू दैट रजिस्ट्री इफ मेनी पेशेंट्स हु आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम एंड स्टेज किडनी डिजीज एंड हु अनफॉर्चुनेटली हैव डोनर्स, फैमिली में डोनर्स हैं लेकिन उनके लिए सूटेबल नहीं है, दिस कैन बी पॉसिबल। सो आई होप दैट डे, वी ऑल शुड वेट फॉर दैट डे वेयर मोर एंड मोर domino transplants happen, so that more and more patients who are unfortunately suffering from this disease get the benefit.
My journey actually started in December 2023, when my blood pressure was so high and my serum creatinine levels were very high. That's when, since I didn't get a proper donor, I was put on dialysis for a year, almost for a year. And then in the meantime, all this workup was happening. Dr. Anuradha was taking care of all that with Dr. Shruti. And then every time when they called us, we came here with the donors and got the HLA tests done. And when they were not matching, they came up with the proposal of the same kind of, patients where they are their kidneys were not matching with their family members. then that's when the supporting team, everybody, they started working up with the papers and all. Then we went for permission in Hyderabad, and then later in Maharashtra. Once we got, then I came here on November 26th. It's been 1.5 months, and then we were under treatment for more than a month, and then finally the date was fixed, and it's been done. And I'm feeling much better now, and it's all because of the entire transplant team, that they have worked tirelessly and made this possible. And I would like to thank all the doctors who have taken who have really studied well, and then they didn't leave even a small issue, because whenever there was any issue, Dr. Shruti used to analyze, and then why is it so. She is, she has done, she really worked meticulously, and then all this was possible. Now I'm feeling much better, and today in the evening I'm going back home with my doctor. So thanks to all the doctors. Thank you so much.
Transplant in May of 2018. I was under Dr. Umari at that time, and the transplant was fine for about 3 years. Then during COVID in around 2020-21, my creatinine levels had started rising, so we were constantly consulting Dr. Umari. She suggested, so she put me on dialysis in October 2022. She suggested to consult Dr. Shruti in Global Hospital. After all this, I was under dialysis for around 2.5 years, and this transplant it happened. We were all matched together, and it happened. I would really like to thank Dr. Shruti, Dr. Umali, and all the other teams involved in this transplant.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rudrakshi. I was diagnosed with CKD, which means I had kidney disease since birth. My first transplant happened in 2017, and it worked just fine for around 8-9 months. After that, I was put back to hemodialysis for around quite a long time. I'm sorry, I can't remember dates, but
you can speak about what are you feeling now with this domino transplant?
Are you happy? Are you happy?
Are you feeling better?
जो बोलना है बोलो, हिंदी बोलना है हिंदी बोलो. Don't worry.
I'm just a bit nervous.
So on behalf of Rudrakshi, I think Rudrakshi is very happy that this has gone successful, isn't it, Rudrakshi?
Her journey was difficult, but she's brave.
Very positive.
So to put on, taken out to the OT for surgery. It took her a little longer time to recover, but here is our fighter who has come out, emerging stronger.
I would request Dr. Shruti to explain who is related to whom and how the donors have switched.
So we'll start with Anuradha. Anuradha's husband is Mr. Krishna Babu, who is standing in the middle. Okay. Siddharth, his father is standing on the extreme left side, Mr. Bhaskar. And Rudrakshi's mother is the first donor. So Rudrakshi's mother, Mrs. Asha, has given to Anuradha. Mr. Krishna Babu, who is Anuradha's husband, has given to Siddharth. And Mr. Bhaskar, who is father to Siddharth Gupta, has given to Rudrakshi. So that is how the three-way domino has happened.